All right. Well, another one that probably ties a little bit sometimes bedtime is tantrum. So, obviously schedules are upended, schools aren't open, can't go to your regular routine. So some children on the spectrum are having more tantrums than usual. What are things parents can do to help a child that might be having more tantrums than usual?
Is this one still me?
Yes, Toby.
Okay. We're sticking here. So I think it's important to say that first of all, there's no magic for every meltdown or tantrum because they happen for different reasons. So this sort of varies from one kid to another. Another reason why it's important to talk to your BCBA. But the magic is in identifying what those reasons or what we would call functions are, and really doing two things as a result of that. So we want to have consistent responses that minimize those functions for inappropriate behavior, like meltdowns or tantrums. But more importantly, identifying alternative positive behavior and making sure that those result in the same outcomes. So in essence, you're trying to make other behavior more functional. And I think one of the important things to consider about behavior change, especially when we're talking about reducing inappropriate behavior, is that long-term impactful changes are based on how we interact with our kids when they're not engaging in those inappropriate behaviors. And it's so easy to think, I should focus my intervention on how I respond. And that's important, and that's part of it for sure. But really, your intervention should be on what you do when your kid is not engaging in those things. And in general, you should think about what do I want my kid to do instead? Do I want him or her to use language instead of this behavior? Should they be able to wait for a preferred activity or item? And those should be the proactive skills that I focus my energy and attention and just, while we're all stressed out, my emotional wherewithal on those things, trying to improve on those things when my child is not melting down or tantruming. And I think that with regard to just one more quick thing with regard to the no piece, like my kid sort of being able to understand no, and my guess is that generally means that a kid isn't accepting or responding well to no. Not necessarily they don't understand what no means, but generally there's two buckets with that. So we have some no forevers, like playing with knives, running in the street. That's like, no, you don't ever get to do that. But most are no, not now. So for a kid to be able to sort of respond appropriately to no, the behavior or the skill that we're trying to teach is functionally waiting. It's not that they don't understand what no means. They need to be able to wait for a preferred item or activity. And that's something that we can work on in the absence of meltdowns and tantrums. So that might just be one other little sort of tidbit that you can throw in while you're trapped at home.
Great. Paula and Tracy, anything to add about a favorite parent topic on tantrums?
I think he got it. I mean, there's another question that I think you were going to pose that it's similar, but Dr. Kobe, he got it.
All right. So we'll move on to another thing.